Well, a very good afternoon to you and welcome to the capital city of Kenya. This is Nairobi. Beautiful scenic shots of the city center as you can see it there. And this it's been the home of women's football for the last few days as we've been watching CECAFA women CAF Champions League qualifiers. Nyayo National Stadium, of course, this is the spiritual home of Kenyan football since 1983, and it's only fair that when we are doing something as historical as this one, we do it at the Nyayo National Stadium, because I tell you what, all good things that have happened to Kenya, a lot of them have happened here at the Nyayo National Stadium. And this afternoon, we are up. There's two games for you, of course. It's two semi-finals. It's four ladies team fighting out for a chance to get into the final on Thursday, of course. So two good games coming up for you. It's a big game, guys, for you. With me, Gladys and Elijah. Gladys,
yes.
This is huge for women's football. The mere fact that we've got teams coming together, playing for a whole week, playing in Nairobi, and there's such a big prize at the end of it.
Well, it's been an absolutely phenomenal tournament so far, and this particular match is going to be even more exciting. But to speak from what I've seen, I've had the privilege of seeing most games. I've had the privilege of being where I am today, and it's been phenomenal. The number of goals we've seen, the amount of talent we've seen has been absolutely incredible. And James, I can tell you, this is going to be a very meaningful and impactful tournament, especially for the women, because now there's something to fight for. There's a prize to look out for, so it's going to be quite an interesting semi-final.
Elijah, when you look at this and the mere fact that we are all together here and we are watching women's football, this is happening in Africa. This is happening in East Africa. And it's been a big year for women's football worldwide. And I know most of us take our cue from England, our cue from the Premiership. They have their own WSL going on. It was live this past weekend. Just how important is this for women's football? The fact that we've got this kind of games, four top teams fighting out for a chance for the final.
It shows that African football is not slacking. You know, at least now we have the African Champions League, where we get to see the best of the very best in East Africa. And for the past few days here, we've seen some scintillating football from all teams, to be honest. And today we're going to be seeing the two queens of East Africa, the Simba Queens and the Vihiga Queens. So who's going to be the queen of East Africa? It's a battle that we are really looking forward to. And for women's football, to be specific, over the years, they have been slagging, but now they're slowly catching up. And for Kenya, we saw the national team going to AUCOD a few years back. And so this is going to make it even better and sweeter, and it's going to increase the quality of football in the women's game.
Can this inspire the next generation? Kenya has made huge strides. I mean, you've got Akida playing all the way in Besiktas. You've got players going out to Europe. Can this inspire the next generation of young girls from this region to know that, you know what, there's something we can aim to, there's somewhere we can aim to go?
Yes, this is definitely going to give them a platform for them to showcase what they have got. You see now Akida made history in the Champions League. Now we have our own African Champions League. This is going to be a huge platform for them to test their might against other African nations. You know, when you play just at home, you get used to the competition. You know what the other teams, the thicker queens, are going to offer you. For example, the younger team in Tanzania, what they're going to offer you. But now you're playing against teams from Uganda, teams from Ethiopia, and you can see what the Ethiopian team has just been doing for the past few days. I mean, they've been playing absolutely brilliant football.
Well, and speaking of what's happened here in the past few days, Gladys, I mean, it's been a wonderful sequence of the results. Everywhere you look, there's been wonderful football. Just looking at the way the teams have played, when you look at both groups, when you look at what happened to Simba throughout this, they've been absolutely sensational. There you have it. That's the way the games have been. And which have been the standout matches for you?
Well, to speak specifically for the Vihiga Queens and the group they were in, my most exhilarating match was the match they played against the CBE of Ethiopia. It was the first match of the tournament from that group. It was a very exciting tournament, and it was a side that CBE actually beat Vihiga Queens, and that opened their eyes, and that made them realize, you know what, these teams that are coming here are all champions in equal right. And then there's the Lady Doves. The reason why I'm talking about them is because in their match against Simba Queens, they did not concede a goal. That shows you the level of discipline that particular team has. So coming into this match, you're seeing two teams that are capable of scoring goals. Look at the number of goals Simba Queens have. That is 4-1 in their first match against PVP. And then they went on to draw 0-0 with Lady Doves. And then in their last group stage match, a whopping 10 goals. So
win the championship again. Then they come back next year. They know what to expect. They know the intensity, they know the quality, so they know what they need to sharpen in order for them to come back and compete and not just participate. Because unfortunately this time around they were participating. But as you can see for CBE, I mean 21 goals, that front line is scary. I absolutely say this because I've watched them several times, and the kind of football that they are playing, the forwards, it's like they have a telepathic understanding. It's really amazing to watch them. It's like the MSN of Barcelona in 2015.
It's incredible when I hear how people are speaking about what they've seen, especially from Ethiopia, because look, the Ethiopians love their football. And if you've seen how the men play, then it doesn't surprise me that CBE would be this good, because if there's one thing the Ethiopians are, and they're really passionate about it, it's the football. Maybe their size doesn't always favor them, but they do like their football. But Gladys, that's the way it's been. That's the journey so far. And as you're saying, you've got Simba Queens, you've got Lady Doves, and then that's all the teams fighting to get to the semi-finals.
Yes.
Of course, all our eyes are in the Queens Derby, like he said. It's Battle Royale. It's the battle of two queens, Simba versus Vihiga.
Yes.
And this has all the additions. It's two teams that are really good. One team defends really well. One team attacks really well. Both Kenya, Tanzania, always a derby, so to speak.
It is a derby.
How tough is that? How much spice is in that game?
It's too much spice. If you're not ready for it, it's going to be too hot. I'm telling you, the peppers in this game, it's going to be absolutely exhilarating. If you want to miss this game, you're going to be missing it in your own preview, because if we look at the front three of Vihiga Queens, we have Terry Agesha, we have Maureen, we have Gentrix Shikangwa, and then we have Violet Wanyonyi. We're not even including Maureen yet because she's playing just behind the strikers. So you look at these three, this is a front three that have 14 goals between them. This is telling you that they are very much ready to score. They're playing a very interesting formation. They're going to be playing a very interesting formation today, looking at how they're lining up. 4-3-3. All-out attack. In the first game against CBE Ethiopia, they actually went a little bit defensive, and that cost them. So by the time they were getting their head back into the game, it was already too late. Now, the back line is going to be another feature we're going to be looking at. Why? Because we have Lillian Award. Because Lillian Award, first choice keeper for Kenya, that tells you that a lot of quality is going to be there. And then in between, we have the defense that they had to wake up after they let in 4 goals. Mango is going to have to rally her troops behind there. So Vihiga Queens in general, they have to be ready. They have to, they just have to ensure that they are not letting it slip. When you see something, it could be near yet so far, and this is just that situation.
Well, there's Gladys talking to us about what to expect from Vihiga. But let's talk about the team that's the home team today. That's Simba Queens. They're the team that are going in there and ready to go out there and do something. There are some of the stats, Elijah, about them. Team established only 4 years ago, of course located in Dar es Salaam, promoted in 2018. And as you can see, they've won the title 2 years in a row as far as Tanzania is concerned. So no mean slouches themselves. They can hold their own.
Definitely, they're wanafuata nyayo of their men's team, because clearly they're champions. The men's side are champions, the female side are champions, and that shows you the kind of leadership that is in Simba. I mean, they have a vision, they set a goal, and they go and achieve the goal. And now they're here. They have a target, and the target is to win that one coveted spot.
Slot, yes.
That is the qualifiers for the slot to go to the Champions League in Egypt. And when you look at the way they play, they're a very intricate and very hungry team for goals.
And very defensive. Let's talk about their defensive prowess, because considered just the one goal.
Yes, and that's one of the biggest aspects about their gameplay, is because they don't sit back and defend, they attack. And, attack is the best way of defense, And they go up front, they look for goals, and if they don't get the goals and they lose the ball up front, they start pressing there. They press there like Pep Guardiola's side. And I'm so happy with what Coach Ali Omar has been doing with the side. The side has been phenomenal, to be honest. I mean, they've been playing good football. And Musolo up front, she is the lady to look out for. She has been quite spectacular.
Well, and that's Simba Queens, the lineup, very briefly, Gladys. There you see that's the way they line up. Really, really solid.
Solid 4-3-3 all-out attack, as Ellie has rightfully put it. And if you look at it keenly, it looks like they are going to be falling back into a 4-5-1 if they have to get that ball and see how they will attack. But I think they're going to use their flanks in this particular particular game, because they have to make sure that they're making it as tough as possible for Vihiga Queens.
Well, and let's talking of the players to make an impact. There you have it, Flavin Musolo, if I'm not mistaken, 5 goals so far, Elijah. That's the person Vihiga Queens have to be wary of.
Yeah. They're going to have a long 90 minutes today, to be honest, because when you watch her, she can shoot the ball with the right, with the left. I mean, look at her. She's very quick, very strong. She was body checked there, but still managed to shoot the ball into the back of the net, albeit the keeper should have done a little bit better there. But you can actually see that she's destined for greatness. And rumor has it that she'll be going abroad to play her football. So this is just like a stepping stone for her to gain more experience, to be ready for the big league.
And of course, her acceleration there stands out for me when you think about just the way she's able to move between the two defenders and do the job. And then there's another one as well. Her name is Opa Clement. Gladys?
Well, Opa Clement, I mean, they've been assisting each other, and it's going to be quite interesting to see what she does. She also knows how to find space in between defenders. And once you know how to do that, you bully your way in. It's going to be very easy for you to find that space and utilize it very well. However, they have to realize that they're going to face a side that had a wake-up call, a very tough wake-up call against a very good side. So I don't think the Vihiga defense is going to try and give them much space. But look at their body size. Man, these guys are huge.
I tell you what, Gladys is very optimistic actually, and you can tell where her heart sort of lies. But let's find out what the Simba coach had to say, what the Simba Queens coach had to say ahead of the game.
Ni mechi ngumu kwa sababu Vihiga kwanza ni timu nzuri, imejiorganize, lakini pia wako nyumbani. Japo hakuna advantage ya mashabiki. Lakini tumejipanga vizuri kwa sababu unajua hii ndio mechi ambayo inakupeleka finali. Na finali ndio inakupeleka Egypt. Kwa hivyo tunajipanga tushinde, lakini tunajua sio mechi rahisi.
Ukiangazia Vihiga wamefunga mabao 21. Wewe kwa upande wako umeconcede bao moja tu. Pengine ungesema ugumu utakuwa ni yupi hapo? Ni ulinzi ama ni ufungaji? Nani ambaye ataibuka mshindi?
Game unategemea na uwanjani. Unaweza kuamka vingine ukalala vingine. Na zile group stage zimepita. Sometimes unaweza kupata team weak, sometimes kupata team ngumu. Kama wao unajua wamecheza mechi ya mwanzo ilikuwa ngumu kidogo, wameconcede for, lakini hapa tunazungumza semi-final, kila mtu kajipanga, sisi tumejipanga na najua Vihiga tumejipanga, lakini mwisho wa siku atapatikana mshindi.
Ukiangazia hasa kwa upande wa ufungaji, vile unavyosema Gentrix amefunga mabao, Morina amefunga, Violet amefunga. Pengine utakuwa na mbinu ipi ya kuwazuia ndio wasiweze kukaribia, ndio wasiweze kupata mabao kama ambao wamepata?
Mimi mara nyingi nacheza game kwenye mechi, ndio maana nakuwa sky. Kwa sababu unaweza ukapanga strategy hii alafu Vihiga kaja na strategy nyingine. Kwa hivyo mimi according to game plan nitakuja uwanjani, ikitokezea hapo mimi ndo nitajua nifanye nini.
Well, so who are Simba Queens up against? They are up against Vihiga Queens, 3 times Kenyan champions, a team that was established in 2013, of course located on the western part of this country, and a team that has done really well as far as Kenyan football is concerned and where the women's team is concerned, producing the bulk of the players that play for the Kenya national team. So yes, this is the team that's taking on Simba Queens. And speaking of Vihiga Queens, let's find out what their coach had to say ahead of the game.
Kimpira inategemea na mpango yenye uko nao kufunga mabao. Yeah. So ni kukuja na strategy. Wamefungwa bao moja kweli, lakini ni strategy ya kuona wachezaji wetu wafunge bao.
Na pengine ungesema strategy hiyo itakuwa ni ipi leo? Ukiangazia una wachezaji wazuri sana, kina Gentrix, kina Morin, kina Violet. Pengine utafanya nini? Mbinu itakuwa ni ipi ndio uweze kuwafunga?
Mbinu yangu hapo mbele ni combination play. Unajua nikitegemea wote wafunge, maybe utapata hakuna mwenye amefunga. So ni combination play, wote wajipange, wafunge bao.
Na Waswahili husema mcheza kwa hutuzwa, uko nyumbani. Pengine inakupatia advantage gani wakati unapocheza na Simba leo?
Kwa sababu unajua advantage ingekuwa kama mafans wangekuwa. Lakini sasa hivi unaona tunacheza uwanja tupu. Inabidi tucheze tu na ile mentality ya kuwa sisi ni wa Kenya na mchezo iko kwetu. So lazima tufurahishe Wakenya wenzetu.
So So there, you've heard it from both coaches. You've heard exactly what they're thinking about, especially Vihiga, because you know what? Vihiga are home and they will be hoping that they can go one better and get to the final. To do that, they've got to beat Simba Queens. If you're a big Vihiga Queens fan, please watch out for Gentrix Shikangwa. She'll be one to watch, as well as Maureen. So come on, there's so much to look forward to. Why don't we just join our commentary and join Mr. Gilbert Selebo, a man who does know his way around football, and he'll take us through the first half. Remember, it's the semi-final. It's the battle of the Queens. It's Simba Queens versus Vihiga Queens.
Nairobi, the capital and the largest city of Kenya. This is at the heart of the central business district. From the rooftop of those skyscrapers, you can have an aerial view of the Nyayo National Stadium, located about 5.8 kilometers from the city center. Hello and welcome to the semi-finals of the first edition of the CAF Women's Champions League 2021 qualifiers for the CECAFA region for a clash of the Queens, the Simba Queens of Tanzania, battling it out against the Vihiga Queens of Kenya. Well, weather forecast standing at 23 degrees centigrade, and of course the wind here at 16 kilometers per hour. Very, very, very beautiful weather for a beautiful game. Well, as the teams line up on your screen right now, a team in white is the Simba Queens from Tanzania, a team that is proving to be a hard nut to crack when it comes to the Champions qualification of the Champions League. While they'll be facing the hosts, Vihiga Queens from Kenya, that is also trying to find their footing into the semi-finals. And of course, the team that wins this tournament will represent the CECAFA region in the Champions League that will be held at the end of the year in Egypt. Well, a tough afternoon. When you get beat in this game today, you'll definitely be heading home, or you play in the third and fourth playoff and give whoever wins this afternoon an opportunity to go all the way to the finals. Well, there it is, the lineup for the Simba Queens. Zubeda Muganda starts in goal, and of course will be covered by Selemani Fatma, Mwanakamba Singano, and of course Tosi. In the midfield is the midfield dynamo Denai Bobo, alongside Asha Jafari. To complement them at the top is Monique Poi and Flavin Mavete Musolo, who has scored 5 goals to her credit. Playing a 4-3-3 formation, meaning there's going to be a lot of ball movements, especially in the midfield. Well, the referees of the day is Shamira Nabada from Uganda, the first assistant Nakito Nkumbi from Uganda, and the second assistant will be Yelfashwa Kasahun from Ethiopia, because the fourth official will be Swavis Iratunga of Burundi. The match commish will be Aisha Narure of Uganda. But the usual protocols on the Vihiga Queens side, they've put up the lineup of their life. Lilian Awar, the national team goalkeeper, will start in goal, of course, aided by Alice Muderi, Mudezi, Owiti, and Makoha are the back four. And Maureen Acheng, the holding midfielder, who has scored 6 goals to her credit, and will be aiding Violet Wanyonyi, Gentrix Shikangwa, and Teresa Engesha at the top to see whether they can be able to beat this tightly knit Simba Queens side. Of course, they also come in with a 4-3-3 formation, and coach Charles Sokoth knows the impact of this result this afternoon. But of course, huddling up Vihiga Queens, goalkeeper Lilian Awar, bringing her troops together just to try and sack them up. But of course, on the Simba Queens side, Joella Bukuru, who has had a fantastic outing in the last few matches, will aid Asha Jafari in the midfield. Well, any time from now, referee Shamira Nabada from Uganda will be teeing us off for this match that is expected to be very, very, very explosive. While most of these teams are champions in their own rights, in their own country, 8 teams came to Kenya, battled it out. 4 teams have remained in contention for the finals that will be played this Thursday right here at Nyayo National Stadium. Goalkeeper Zubeda Mugunda of Simba will be called upon to try and stop Gentrick Shikangwa and Violet Wanyonyi, of course aided by Teresa Engesha. Clement Sanga on the Simba Queen side has scored 4 goals alongside Flaming Owete. And the referee, Shamira Labada, sets us off for a game that we do expect is going to be tough here. Suleiman Fatma playing it to the pass master, Danai Bobo. Bobo, Asha Jafari. And of course, a foul coming from Gentrix Shikangwa in the early hours of this morning. To join me in the commentary booth is the lady Midecha for the first half. Midecha, what do you make of this game?
Good afternoon, Gilbert, and thank you very much for that hearty introduction. I'm telling you, I'm expecting a match full of goals, a match that will be exhilarating, a match that we're going to see 2 queens battling out. But who is going to come out as with the crown on her head?
Absolutely. Looking for the crown on her head. 2 queens battling it out. Clement Sanga. Sanga still onto the ball, trying to find that vital pass. But again, very good defensive play there by Phoebe Owiti, the central defender on the Vihiga Queen side. It's a first corner of the match. And the corner will be taken by Joel Bukuru, the lanky midfielder. Joel Bukuru, the long pass forward. Goalkeeper Lillian Award punches it forward, and it's picked again by Asha. Asha, good shot coming from Bobo. Again, still in play here. Morina Cheng, the midfield general. On the right-hand side, good run, but a good stop from Evariste Tosi. A good punt by Muderi. Again, solid performance from Suleiman Fatma. Picked in the midfield. Gentrix trying to get to Teresa Engesha. Again, very, very, very good block from Suleiman Fatma on the defensive side for Simba Queens.
Well, look at that, Gilbert. That pass was absolutely a clever pass, and Terry did well to control that ball, but good defending from the Simba Queens, and Terry is asking the questions here. It's a good start from Queens there.
Good start from Queens. Flavin Mawete Musolo trying to go past Vivian Makoha. Again, tries to play the ball back to Joel Bukuru. Picked up in the midfield by Violet Wanyonyi. Wanyonyi back to Joan Nabire. Gentrix playing into the midfield, trying to get hold of Anyango, but again, ball picked from the back. Another rompang forward, Monique Kipoi, and it's a foul. Quick start there from the captain, Enes Mudezi in the midfield, Maslin Anyango, John Nabire, Violet, Morina Cheng, but again, pass not well intended, picked by goalkeeper Zubeda Mugunda.
Well, Gilbert, Vihiga are looking like they are giving more solid passes. They don't want to give the ball away too much to the Simba Queens because they know that they can cause damage if they're given space. So it's very clever from the Vihiga Queens to try and keep the ball to themselves.
Absolutely. Jalipa, Singano, deny Bobo. Denai Bobo with a long punt here, trying to get Monique Kipoi. Monique Kipoi, and it's a foul. It's a clear foul on Vivian Makoha. I think so far Simba trying to play the balls long,
Yes,
right
they
behind
are.
the defenders.
And look at that, that was a very clever pass from their midfield. And you can see how their striker is placing herself, because she knows she has the pace. She knows she has the body to bully that defender out of the ball. So it's very, very clever play from the Simba Queens.
Very clever play from Simba Queens. And another foul there from Violet Mwanakamba, the captain. And she runs on the wrong side of the referee. Yellow card, the first yellow card.
Well, Gilbert, that was a tackle that did deserve a yellow card. She was nowhere near the ball, and she has to be very careful. Getting bookings this early might just destabilize the team. Only four minutes into it, and we're already seeing our fast booking. It's telling you it's going to be very, very tight.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Whoever wins this game this afternoon definitely gets the finals. Enes Mudezi. Long punt there by Mudezi. Picked by Monique. Monique plays back to Suleiman Fatma, and she decides to play the ball out for a throw-in. Captain Enes Mudezi. Gentrix alongside Suleiman, and a corner kick by Suleiman Fatma. The first corner of the day from the Vihiga side.
Well, look at that. Good defending, if you ask me. She knew that if she gives Gentrix that space, it's going to be absolutely dangerous.
Absolutely.
So she did the right thing by clearing the ball out.
Absolutely dangerous. Gentrix Shikangwa.
Vihiga have been taking very, very good set pieces, Gilbert. This one has to be well defended if the Simba Queens don't want to concede their first goal.
Shikangwa with a long punt forward, cleared by the captain in the midfield, Joella Bukuru. Again, there is a long ball in the Vihiga rear guard, cleared by Vivian Makoha. Mudezi picked by Suleiman Fatma. Fatma again loses the ball in the midfield, picked by number 10 Morina Cheng. John Labire, a big battle there from Bukuru. Again, a good pass down the line, and a foul about 25 yards away from the Simba Queens goal. Well, Vihiga asking questions at this point.
And look at that, Gilbert. Terry Egesha just knew where to place herself, and the defender really had to use a lot of energy to take out Terry Egesha. One in a very dangerous place, and we know the likes of Gentrix Shikangwa and what they can do with this kind of shots. If she puts enough power into it, we could just be seeing the first goal of this match.
Gentrix Shikangwa joined Vihiga in 2017 and CECAFA top scorer in 2019. 5 goals to her credit. It's a weak shot. And Zubeda Mgunda says, thank you very much, asante sana.
Easily picked up. I know she had seen how the wall had organized themselves, decided to go low, not enough power, and very easy pick for the goalkeeper.
Very easy pick for the goalkeeper, Bukuru. Back to Singano. Singano in the midfield to Danai Bobo. Bobo, Monique Kipoi with a good run. Tries to get the ball to Clement Sanga. Goalkeeper comes out, Lilian Awar, and plays the ball out for a goal kick. For a throw-in. Suleiman to Kipoi. Again, very, very solid marking there from Enes Mudezi, or the captain on the Vihiga side.
Well, Gilbert, look at how far this lady, number 27 on her jersey, Monique Kipoi, came from with that ball all the way from the midfield and making a pass into that final third. Dangerous play there by Terry Egesha.
Well, there's a foul on Viot Mwanakamba, the captain on the Simba Queens side.
Well,
It's an open foot.
open foot, you know, I think it's a 50-50 ball. Both of them had their high foot there, so it could have been dangerous. I think that's why the referee has not given Terry a yellow card, because both of them had their feet up. Unlucky that it got her foot, but I do hope she's well.
Well, we do hope that the captain, Veyoth Mwanakamba, and the referee, of course, wants Terry Engesha. Terry Engesha has been with Vihiga from 2016, and she has been the all-time top scorer for this Vihiga side.
Well, Gilbert, you know, the reason why that defense is very wary of her is because she has 17 goals to her name last season for Vihiga, so she can score. And, you know, any side that is playing against a striker of that caliber have to be very, very wary of her.
Absolutely. Again, ball still in play here. Pass to Maslin Anyango. Maslin Anyango trying to get to the ball to Teresa Engesha. Engesha, Maureen Acheng, Engesha. Engesha still onto the ball. Engesha, the good pass, again picked by Denai Bobo. Bobo, back to Julita Singano. Singano wide to Evariste Tosi. Evariste Tosi, a long punt forward, trying to get hold of Clement Sanga again. Picked out by a very, very solid Vivian Makoha in the central defense for Vihiga Queens.
That is Phoebe Owiti, very, very strong girl there, and you can see the body check.
That's a free kick for Simba Queens. But a number of yellow shirts behind the ball. 10 to be precise. It's only Teresa Engesha who's been left at the top. The well-floated ball there. Easy pick for Lilian Awar, the Kenyan international. Quick start to Mudezi. Mudezi again intercepted by Suleiman. Fatma back in the midfield. Johanna Vire back to Mudezi. Daisy, Johanna Vire. Johan back to Mudezi. Mudezi, and still a 50-50 ball here. Muslin Anyango denied by Monique Poi for a throw-in. Well, it's a battle royale today.
It is battle royale, a little bit slow. I think that both teams are being cautious, trying to see who is going to be the first to, you know, ask the questions. A little bit slow and very cautious.
Very, very cautious approach from both sides. The long throw here from Suleiman. Suleiman with a big punt forward. Goalkeeper picks it up. Lilian Awar plays a long ball to the forward line to try and look for Gentrick Shikangwa. Shikangwa, Gileta Singano clears the ball. Evariste Tosi. Tosi, the long pass again, trying to get to Clement Sanga. Again, very good interception. Picked by Flavin Musolo. Flavin Musolo with a long punt. Well, she couldn't hit the mark, and it goes out for a goal kick. Goalkeeper Lilian Awar
had nothing to worry about. It went
Really?
all the way out. And Gilbert, this is going to be one match that whoever scores first is going to open a can of worms. We are going to see a match here. So a goal might just be what we need to make this absolutely interesting.
very, very interesting indeed. Both teams from the proceedings in the first 13 minutes, anytime that either of the teams loses the ball, they drop back in numbers and just wait for their opponents in the midfield. Very, very cautious approach. Mwanakamba, Suleiman Fatma. Fatma with a long pass, trying to get hold of Clement Sanga. Goalkeeper War, and referee calls for an infringement on Phoebe Owiti.
Well, Gilbert, that was a little bit of a push there, held Phoebe Owiti from the back. no intention to get the ball whatsoever, so referee got it right.
Absolutely. Mudezi. Violet Wanyonyi in the midfield. Teresa Engesha. And the battle in the midfield between Engesha and Asha Jafari. Today playing as an attacking midfielder.
Well, it looks like their eye is on Terry Engesha, and you know they keep changing movement. If you look at how they're playing right now, this Vihiga Queens, Violet Wanyonyi has actually come to the left side, and Gentrix Shikangwa has moved to the right. So that movement is what is.
And that is the number 9, Teresa Engesha. Well, with an opportunity to try at least bring a cross in, but again, really doesn't hit the foot right. That was a good pass, very beautiful control there by Teresa Engesha, but again, the left foot lets her down. Evariste Tosi with a big punt forward to try and look for Clement Sanga. Again, very silly display there by Phoebe Owiti. Plays the ball into midfield, again, they lose it. Teresa Engesha, Mudezi tries to get Violet Wanyonyi, picked by Suleiman Fatma to the captain, Mwanakamba, Fatma, Kipoi, very good turn there. Kipoi still on the ball, Kipoi plays the ball wide to Clement, but picked into the midfield by Phoebe Owiti, solid performance from Phoebe, and the ball goes out for a throw-in.
Well, Gilbert, Phoebe Owiti is everywhere in that defense. If she's not in the middle, she's taking it to the flanks. And you have to give her credit for trying to shut down this very lethal defense of the Simba Queens.
Absolutely. Another throw in there. Maslin Anyango, Violet, picked out by Suleiman Fatma. Ball back to the defenders there. Singano plays a long pass to Flavin Masolo into the midfield. Joella Bukuru, Musolo, and then a good tackle there by Vivian Makoha. Makoha tries to punt the ball forward to try and get to Gentrix, but again the ball was too fast for Gentrix, and goalkeeper Zubeda Mgunda. Easy time, easy pick. Suleiman Fatma with everyone on the yellow side back into the defense. Solid performance by Phoebe Owiti, who's really come out very strongly to mark out Clement Sanga. Kipoi, Silimani with a good dot, again picked out by Maslin Anyango for the throw-in. Silimani, Fatma tries to get to Denai Bobo, denied. Gentrix Shikangwa, CECAFA Senior Challenge top scorer in 2019. Back to Teresa Engesha plays wide to Wanyonyi, Morina Cheng, Wanyonyi. Again, typical defending there from Evariste Tos, the fullback 3 on the Simba Queens side. It's a throw-in. Evariste, Zingano, captain, Mwanakamba, deny Bobo, Suleimani Fatma, the long pass here to try and look for Clement Sanga, again intercepted by Phoebe, poor pass into the midfield, gets to Maslin Onyango, and that is a foul from Mwanakamba. Remember, Mwanakamba is on a yellow card. At this point in time, she really needs to check out on how she's tackling, because anytime from now, she could be heading to the showers.
And look at that, Gilbert. Again, no intention to get the ball. She has to be extremely careful. As a captain, you cannot afford to get a second yellow card in this match, because that means you will be out of this match, and most importantly, reduce your chances of going into the final.
Absolutely. John Nabirie. Long punt in the box, picked out by Singano. Singano plays to Kipoi. Kipoi looking for the space. Again, very good defensive play by Enes Mudeizi.
Well intercepted, very well intercepted. Good ball reading. She saw how it was coming and she made the correct decision.
Correct decision. The ball on Flavia Mawete. Musolo again. A very timely tackle there. Very timely tackle there from the diminutive
Vivian Makoha doing her job there at the middle of that pitch, just making sure that they're not giving this Simba Queens any space.
Absolutely. Again, it's a foul. It's a foul on Everett Tosi. Tosi moving up to try and help out in the attack. Tosi donning number 11 jersey for Simba Queens, but playing as a left back.
Joanne just trying to cut off supply there, but unfortunately not getting the ball.
Free kick, Joella Bukuru. Joella Bukuru. She floats the ball there. Goalkeeper comes out, headed into play and cleared to Gentrix Shikangwa. Shikangwa in the midfield again. Another foul on Gentrix Shikangwa. Well, it actually goes the other way. Asha Jaffrey.
Well, that was a foul, Gil, but she didn't get the ball. She got the leg and unfortunately gave away the foul.
Absolutely. Again, another good run here by Teresa Terry. Terry Engesha. Terry Engesha again is the captain. Terry Engesha and the captain. And Mwanakamba ensures that Terry has the last touch onto that ball. Goalkeeper Zubeda Mugunda. Mugunda, Singano. Singano trying to get to Flavin Musolo. Musolo with a deep run. Musolo, another good run by Musolo. She gets into the box. She tries to bail the bringing across, but again, Musolo right foot lets her down.
And look at that run all the way from the midfield by passing 3 Vihiga United players, and she was trying to be clever with the ball because she saw how the goalkeeper was standing. I think that slight push there by Vivian Makoha might just have destabilized her and caused her to kick the ball out.
Absolutely. Well, I think Teresa Engesa intimating that she was hit in the nose.
And immediately you can see the coach trying to talk to his troops there and telling them what to do. Put the ball at, you know, the final third. Push it all there. That is Terry Gesha. She looks like she has an injury.
Oh, there's a different color on her lips. She may have been injured off the ball, and hopefully the medics will take care of their business and allow Teresa Engesha to come back into the midfield. Masia Nyango again won by Selemani Fatma. Kipoi plays in the midfield to Asha Jaffrey, picked by the Vihiga defenders. Gentrix, again, well marked out by the captain of the day, Viot Mwanakamba. Daisy. Again, ball goes out for a throw-in. Suleiman Fatma. Monikipoi beats Vivian Makoha, brings in a cross. Again, beautiful defending by Phoebe Awiti. Knocks the ball back to Maslina Nyango. Nyango with a big punt forward. Again, captain picks it out, Selemani with a big punt again, trying to get to Clement Sanga. Again, solid performance there from Phoebe Awiti. Very dangerous play here by the Simba Queens. Asking questions.
They have been asking questions, and look at how far it's coming from the flanks, and they're trying to put the ball into that final third. Offside, but a very, very good call. And now Vihiga Queens have to be very careful with that high line.
They have to be very, very careful because the Simba Queens trying to get hold of Clement Sanga, donning number 7, the key striker at the top again. Ball trying to be played to Clement Sanga. Clearance by Mudezi. In the midfield, Anyango. Anyango battling it out against Asha Jafari. Well, won back in the midfield by Bukuru. Bukuru plays the ball back to Singano. Singano, Suleiman. Suleimani. Again, still in control of the ball. She plays the ball back to Bobo. Bobo, the pass master, trying to get hold of Clement Sanga. But again, Phoebe Owiti draws her up and passes the ball to the goalkeeper. Gentrick Shikangwa. Back to Violet Wanyonyi. Well, picked in the midfield by the pass master, Denai Bobo. Bobo with a long pan forward, trying to get to Kipoi. But again, the delivery was not that good, and it goes out for a throw-in.
Well, this lady Kipoi keeps switching flanks, Gilbert. Once you're seeing her on the right, the next on the left. So she's really trying to look for this ball everywhere and trying her luck everywhere. And this Vihiga defense have to be very wary of her movement, so they need to find a way to cut off her supply.
Absolutely. Terry Engesha. Engesha, again, collected in the midfield by Asha Jaffrey. Asha plays the ball into space for Clement Sanga. But again, it goes out for a throw-in. Enes Mudezi, the captain on the Vihiga Queens side. Very, very, very good tactical discipline, defensive discipline by both sides. Just waiting for one moment of madness to be able at least to get an opportunity to crack a shot on goal. Silimani trying to get to Kipoi. Kipoi, again, good defense by Vivian Makoha.
Well, Vivian was hoping it would go out for a throw-in. However, it just slightly went further, and it is a corner for the Simba Queens.
I think it's a throw-in. Yes, by Suleimani Fatma, Kipoi. And it's been called out for a corner. Vivian Makoha aids Simba Queens for another corner, well deserved. 26.5 minutes to the clock in the first half, and still kicking. Joella Bukuru with a corner. Bukuru, the lanky midfielder, hasn't scored yet. Big pan forward, goalkeeper drops it, and still in danger there. But again, Bukuru with another punt. Quality heading there from the defender. That should be Phoebe Awiti doing absolute good business for the Vihiga Queens.
Gilbert, it was actually Gentrix Shikangwa who took that ball out, and look at how far she went. Poor clearance there by the defender, and onto the, as a goalkeeper, make sure you punch it out hard enough.
Hard enough from Gladys Midecha, my football analyst today. Another foul in the midfield on Joella Bukuru.
Well, it looks like it is a battle of the midfield. Both teams playing 4-3-3, and that is now on Maureen Achieng of Vihiga Queens. She has had a very quiet game, but let's see what she can do in this final third as we see this free kick being taken.
Well, the referee trying to caution the players. Another big pound forward by Phoebe Awiti. Goalkeeper Subeda Mugunda picks the ball with ease. A long pound forward. Well cleared off the lines, and it goes to Monique. Monique lets the ball roll out for a throw-in. Suleiman Fatima. Monique, Suleiman. Another throw to Clement Sanga. A foul by Phoebe Owiti. on Clement Sanga.
Well, look at that. She was nowhere near the ball, just wanted to cause an obstruction, and she did. However, she has given out a foul in a dangerous area. Anywhere near that box is very dangerous, especially with the Simba Queens being able to take their set pieces very, very well. Good.
Absolutely. Evariste Tosi, charged with the responsibility of bringing in a quality pass in that box. Evariste goes straight to the goalkeeper. Easy pick for Lilian Award.
Well, she was hoping probably she could get an assist by the wind. It's a little bit windy here in Nairobi today. Good weather for football.
Well, another foul again on Monique Kipoi. Well, Monique Kipoi today has police marking from Phoebe Awiti. And it's a free kick that will be taken by Joella Bukuru. You see Joella Bukuru and the pass master, Danai Bobo, lining up to take the shot. Will it be a direct shot or they try some tricks? And it's Bobo. Bobo with a shot! But it really doesn't hit the target. And it's a goal kick. Bobo with one goal to her credit. Good technique. But the ball goes wide.
Good technique, nothing for Lilian Award to worry about as she takes that goal kick. And really, they have to be wary of giving away those free kicks in those dangerous areas. Again, Gilbert, if you're going to get those free kicks in dangerous areas, this is for both teams. They have to make sure that they utilize them because these chances might not be as many as they hope for.
Absolutely. Long punt there to try and look for Terry Engesha. Again, Zubeda Mugunda being involved. Zingano to Evariste Tosi, the left back. Long pass trying to get to Flavin Mavete Musolo. Ball into the box again. Too far for the incoming midfielder Joella Bukuru. Goalkeeper Lilian Award plays the ball forward. Won in the midfield by Teresa Engesha. Engesha loses it out to Asha Jafari. And it's a foul by Maslin Anyango. These two are really at each other at this point. And she does a quick ball there. Again, straight to goalkeeper Lilian Award. Big punt forward. Battle in the midfield. Again, a header there from Danai Bobo to Flavin Musolo. Ball picked in the midfield by Maureen Achieng. Marcelin Anyango. Anyango plays the ball to Vivian Makoho. Makoho trying to get to Gentrix again. Picked out by Suleimani. Suleimani plays the ball forward. And up comes Flavin Musolo. And it's a foul.
Well, you know, Gilbert, I'm actually having a little bit of a good time here because she was down until she saw the ball coming all the way back to her, and that was ball handling there from the Vihiga Queens side. But really, the theatrics in football, I think there's too much drama when it comes to it. That's what makes
football a beautiful game. Clement Sanga again blocked, picked by Teresa Engesha again losing it out to Julita Zingano, to the captain Danai Bobo, back to Zingano, Evariste Tosi, the long pass to Clement Sanga, back to Flavin Mawete with the run, solid run on the left, again quality defending there by Phoebe Owiti.
Gilbert, both sides so far have done excellent work when it comes to defending, really, and they're doing a very, very good job. And this just tells you how tight it is for strikers from both sides. If you look at Terry and you look at this lady Kipoi on the other side, they're both not being given any space. Now, if Lilian wants to be of good contribution, she should actually put those goal kicks to the line. And look at that. Very easy pick for her.
Bobo, Suleimani Fatma. Sulemani Fatma. Big punch to Clement Sanga. Sanga, well, she doesn't pick it up. It's picked by a solid Vivian Makoha. Into the midfield, Morina Chieng. Morina Chieng. Chieng, and gives the ball back to Vivian Makoha. Makoha, Gentrix. Gentrix with a through ball to Wanyonyi. Wanyonyi, and again, too close to the keeper. That's a quick restart there. Evariste Tosi. Tosi, again. Clement Sanga. Clement Sanga still onto the ball, plays back to Tosi. Tosi into the midfield, Bukuru. Bukuru, again to the fellow midfielder, Asha Jaffari. Jaffari, Sulemani Fatma. Fatma with a big punt forward, trying to get to Flavin Musolo. Again, quality defending there from the Vihiga Queens. And of course, Joella Bukuru failing to take advantage.
Well, Fatma has been instrumental in bringing those crosses in.
And it looks like the goalkeeper, Zubeda Mugunda. Zubeda Mugunda on the Simba Queen side. Looks like something that may have happened to her. Off the ball incident. Should be an off the ball incident. We hope that the medics.
Well, Gilbert, let's just look at it. Picked the ball. A little bit uncomfortable when she was doing that throw-in. Probably not the best of techniques, especially when you've not been warming up. So as you are standing there, you know, you need, as a goalkeeper, you need to keep your muscles open. Keep reminding them that they are working, Gilbert.
Absolutely.
And we're seeing the coaches from both sides taking that opportunity, that small break, to talk to their charges. You know, just a little bit of tactic change here and there, and let's see what will come in after this break. You know,
well, and at 4 p.m., Lady Doves of Uganda will be battling it out against the sensational team of the tournament, the Commercial Bank of Ethiopia. So have a date with that. At 4 p.m., we'll be right here alongside my co-commentator to bring you that one. Well, ball back into play.
they were quick to start that, Gilbert. However, that was an offside. Correct call there by the assistant referee. And Gilbert, the refereeing in this tournament has been absolutely phenomenal.
Absolutely phenomenal. Ball back into the midfield, Mudezi. Mudezi tries to get to Engesha. Engesha. And she happened to have been the last person to kick the ball out. And again, another long throw there by Sulemani, trying to get to Kipoi. Kipoi, again, solid performance from Mudezi. Mudezi, Suleiman, Fatma, again, the first assistant, Nakito Nkumbi from Uganda, feels that there was an infringement by Monique Kipoi. Big punt, Phoebe. Long ball here, won into midfield by Asha Jaffari. Jaffari plays to the captain, Mwanakamba. Mwanakamba tries to play to Clement, but picked in the midfield by Engesha. Engesha, Gentrix. Gentrix, ball back to the speed, Violet Wanyonyi, and there's an infringement by the Vihiga Queens. Quick restart there, Evariste Tosi. Tosi, and the referee, Shamira Nabada, says that there should be a restart. Mwanakamba, Singano, Bobo, Monique, Mudezi wins it in the midfield. Well, Suleimani, Jaffrey, Bukuru. Again, ball too hard for Fatma to get to.
Well, it has been too much for her, but she's also been everywhere winning those balls on the line, Suleiman. She's having an absolutely wonderful game, and you have to give credit where it's due, Gilbert. These queens are giving us one exciting match.
One exciting match. Well, you'd expect that when it is a battle for the queens, they sizing each other. The game is 50-50. None of the two sides has really stamped the authority. They are very, very quiet in terms of their build-up, not pushing numbers up front, but very, very solid defending so far from both sides. Bukuru, Clement, wide to Musolo, good pick there, Musolo with a shot. Again, Vivian Makoha comes in at the nick of time to break that shot. Again, back to Gentrix Shikangwa with a long pass to Teresa Engesa, goalkeeper. Zubeda Mgunda comes out at the nick of time toward that attack.
Well, that was a very, very good build-up. We're seeing the ball on each side.
Well, another big punt forward by Suleimani Fatma. Throwing Suleimani Fatma. Monique Kipoi. Two players right around Monique Kipoi cause Enes Mudezi. Got immunity, but very, very difficult to pitch. Bobo. But another good clearance there by Vivian Makoha. Picks again in the midfield by Asha Jaffrey, Bukuru, Tosi. Trying to get to Flavin Musolo. Musolo, battle there again. Very, very, very solid defending there from Alice Muderi, the right back on the Vihiga Queen side. The throw-in taken by Tosi, Flavin, the long punt in the defense again. Teresa Engesha drops back to help out. Picked by Gentrix Shikangwa. Gentrix back to Alice Muderi. Alex Muderi to Gentrix. Gentrix into the midfield. Plays the ball back to Vivian Makoa. Vivian, goalkeeper Lilian Awar. Awar, back to Vivian. Vivian into the midfield by Phoebe Owiti. Again, the tiki-taka by the Vihiga Queens, enjoying their ball movements here. Vivian Makoha tries to play with the ball in this, but it's won by Clement, and the referee calls a foul on Phoebe Owiti.
Well, Phoebe Owiti, no nonsense defender there. She has been overworking today. We've seen a lot of her off the ball and on the ball, clearing, defending, giving everything, making sure that her side is not conceding.
Absolutely. Daisy. The ball back into the midfield. Picked by Bobo. Again, another foul by Maureen Acheng on Bobo. These two midfield maestros, they're working at each other.
Well, there you can see that foul by Maureen Acheng there. I did say she had a quiet game. Now I'm seeing her here. And it's that foul that has made us remember Maureen Acheng is in this pitch. And really, the battle of the midfield has been absolutely immense. These two teams almost on a 50-50 ball possession moment. And the referee is saying that the Queens are trying to be a little bit cheeky with where they want to take the free kick from, so they have to move it a little bit behind.
Deny Bobo with a long punt forward. Quality defending. One into the midfield by Asha Jaffrey. Plays to Monique. Monique leaves it for Phoebe Owiti. She thought it's on offside. And there's Mudezi picked by Clement, won by Mudezi, the long punt forward. from Vivian Makoha. Makoha loses it out to Zingano. Again, clearance there from Silemani. Silemani still in possession of the ball, and a handball by Maslin Anyango. It's a foul. The ladies in white, Simba Queens from Tanzania. Big one forward, Silemani trying to find Flavin. Goalkeeper Lilian Awar picks the ball up, and goalkeeper, of course, the coach, very, very pensively moving up and down that touchline. Ball played out. Alice Muderi. Muderi, the right back on the Vihiga Queens side, into the midfield to Morina Cheng, and it's a foul. The foul by Evariste Tosi on Morina Cheng, who started making some inroads in that Simba Queens rear guard.
Well, that is the second booking we're seeing this afternoon here. And the Simba Queens defense now have 2 players on cards, and they really have to be careful. If they get any more infringement, it's going to be very, very tough for coach, and he'll have to make some very tough decisions.
Absolutely. And it's a free kick in the 45th minute of the game. It's a big fun forward. Goalkeeper comes out. Again, another good shot there coming from deep from Jordan Nabire. And it's actually a goal kick. Well, good shot there coming in from Joan Nabire. Ball was floated, goalkeeper comes out, Zubeda Mgunda doesn't put her hands firmly onto the ball, and from that rebound, Joan Nabire not hitting the ball right. Well, 46 minutes on the clock. Shamira Nabada from Uganda calling the shots here and sending us to the halftime break. Of course, at this particular point in time, none of these two teams having had a shot on goal. And as we speak, Simba Queens are tying 0-0 against the Vihiga Queens of Kenya. Well, it's been a tough outing here. Only 1 goal attempt from both sides and on target. Of course, the Queens have had 2 corners against the Vihiga Queens 1. No record so far, and 2 yellow cards that have been given to Evariste Tosi and Violet Mwanakamba, the captain on the Simba Queens side. So far, it's a well-organized game, and we shall take you to the halftime break.
Well, it's halftime at the Nyayo National Stadium. The Battle of the Queens, and stalemate after 45 minutes. No goals, Simba Queens versus Vihiga Queens of Kenya. It's the semi-final of the CECAFA Champions League right here at the Nyayo National Stadium. That first half was mostly Simba Queens, I tell you what. Though the stats there may tell you a little bit of a different story. Gladys, you are in the commentary booth. The stats say 50% in terms of ball possession, and then goal attempts, 8 versus 6. The attempts on target is 1 each. But from my naked eye, from where I was seated, it's been all red. It's been all Wekundu Msimbazi for the most of that first half.
Well, James, the interesting thing about this game is that this game was actually won in the midfield, and hence the reason why they're giving the statistics as 50-50. If you look at where the number of yellow cards are coming in from, they're always coming in from either half, where Vihiga Queens were trying to attack, or when Simba Queens were trying to attack, we would see an infringement there. So at the end of the day, it is 50-50. We've not seen the goalkeepers really having much of a test, aside from the two set pieces that the Simba Queens got, and we saw Lilian Awor getting the ball. It's really not been much. For me, I can say I'm disappointed. I was expecting goals in this first half. These Queens are too cautious. And I think whoever scores the first goal in this game will actually decide how this game goes, the direction in which it will take.
Elijah, she says it's been 50-50. I think you have a different opinion. Who's been the better team in the first half?
Definitely. I mean, it's been like 80-20. There's a huge contrast between these two teams. The way Simba play and the way Vihiga play. With Simba, they have a plan. They know what they're going to do. They're getting the balls quickly into the Vihiga half. They're 1-2 passes, they're in the final third. And that's what you want to see from a team playing in the semi-final in a tournament, because we have only 90 minutes. If we don't score in 90 minutes, we get extra time, then penalties. We don't want that. We want to finish the game within the 90 minutes. So what do? Let's play as quick as possible. Let's try and get the ball into the box. However, we have to give the Vihiga defense credit, because they have attacked and they have defended vehemently. And the right back, the Fatma for Suleiman, for Simba, oh my goodness, what a player she is. If you count the number of take-ons, it could be heading to 10. You know?
She has had an incredible half. I do agree with you.
Yes.
You can see how good her throw-ins in. She's winning very good fouls for them in their opponent's half. So she's really been very, very instrumental. But again, look. On the flip side, let's look at the central defense of the Vihiga Queens. They've been absolutely phenomenal. They've kept Kipoi out of the ball at all times. She's not had a chance to show us her brilliance in this match. So really, it's really, really a tough call. And I know you're saying 80-20, but I'm still going 50-50.
I'll probably try and explain what Elijah is getting at. I mean, when Simba play, you sort of see a game plan and a game pattern. More often than not, as the main defender of this 50-50%.
Yes.
Is it possible for Vihiga to be a bit more expansive, to try and pass the ball a bit more from the midfield going into attack, rather than keep trying to look for the quick ball up front?
I think they've been trying to do that, but look at how quiet Maureen Achieng has, how quiet of a first half Maureen Achieng has had. They've completely cut off supply, and she's usually very good with the 50-50 balls. So the two central defenders of the Simba Queens side have actually pushed in a little bit deeper, hence they're not giving her space to run in. That's cutting off supply for Vihiga Queens. That is why you're seeing Vihiga Queens trying to get the ball into the flanks. So Maureen Achieng's supply has been cut off. She has no answers, nothing to give Terry and Gentrix and Violet, and so it's being very, very difficult for them. That is why, if you look at the midfield, the referee keeps blowing her whistle all the time because of the number of tackles and the number of fouls. So when you say 80-20, I'm still going to...
It's 80-20 because if you look at the formation, what Vihiga are trying to do is like 2 versus 8. It's Catenaccio type of football, because when the goalkeeper has the ball, she hits it forward. Forward, you have Gentrix. It's 2 versus 4, 2 versus 6. They're outnumbered in the forward part. But when it comes to the midfield, and that's what you've been alluding to, Maureen Achieng has been nowhere to be seen. One team has come to the party, the other team has
But look
not
at
come
how
to the party.
well Joanna Biire has actually been.
Yes.
She's been very, very good for the Vihiga side. I think they've converted back into a 4-2-3-1 formation, slightly more defensive than what we were expecting from the 4-4-3. And when they lose the ball, they revert back to that. And that has actually worked for them. So in this second half, we're hoping, James, really, that we can see more open play. As you've said, the Simba side are really trying to attack. But if one of those counter attacks happens to just get Terry Egesha in the right foot, we could be talking about something very, very different, because these two goalkeepers really have been helping us watch the game.
Well, speaking of what's happened in that first 45, let's look at an attempt by Simba and Flavin. We spoke about her at the start and we said, you know what, this girl is a star. She's one to watch out for. And here it is once again, Simba starting off at the back. And this is maybe what Elijah is talking about, that Simba seemed to be very clear about what are we doing, how are we doing it. And there you have it. She goes right past one defender, past the second one, really making a move towards the box. And the cross, maybe the cross, she doesn't quite get it, Gladys. But
she didn't get that cross because of that little body check she was given. But again, look at that run, James, all the way, just 2 passes, goalkeeper, defender, and then to her. She makes use of that line. Now, one thing that a lot of people, if anyone who's watched the Vihiga game, they did notice that their wing backs tend to actually try and make the runs.
Yes.
But in this particular game, they're not making any runs. They're being very, very careful. They're winning all the balls because they know if they give that lady space, she's going to cause damage. And look at that, very clever play. She even used her outer foot, just to show you, by the way, you guys, I'm very comfortable with the ball. I know what I can do with it.
Elijah, I enjoy watching her, and I enjoy watching Monique on the other side. Her first touch is also unbelievable. Really, really, really good. And that's the one thing that has stood out for me as far as Simba are concerned. Just their touch, their first touch. That one, I agree with you, way better than Vihiga.
Yes.
Absolutely. You can see there's a whole difference between the way the Vihiga players control the ball and the way the Simba players control the ball. The first touch is absolutely imperative. And for Queens, the reason for Simba Queens, the reason why they're getting past the Vihiga Queens players quite easily is because of their first touch. They know how the first touch, they don't stop the ball with the first touch. The first touch, they control the ball heading towards the direction they want to take the play. And we could see Sanga, there's a pass she was given, one touch, she turned. And
yes.
Who did she have there? Musolo was there, open, pass it. And it makes the ball look so easy. I mean, Simba are making it look so easy. The only thing that they are not doing right is the final ball in the box. If they get it right, this game is done and dusted. However,
Ellie.
Let's do this, guys. Let's do this, guys. Let's do this.
Let me just say this.
Yes.
In the last game, Vihiga Queens had a poor first half. Okay? Then the second half, they scored 7 goals. So what they're going to be told in the changing room is going to determine what the outcome of this game.
Well, speaking of Vihiga, let's look at someone who Gladys has said was really, really good today. Joanna Biria with this attempt. I mean, there haven't been many coming this way, but this is quite possibly one right towards the end. Thrown in there, keeper makes a meal of it, but then the shot just sort of trickles wide.
A very, very weak shot, if you ask me. They usually have very good power on their feet when they're taking this kind of shots. And those are the kind of dangerous balls that if you look at even the positioning of Vihiga Queens, look at how many numbers they had. There are only 4 players, 4 against 6 players, if you ask me. And, if she would have taken, look at Maureen. Maureen actually knows how to get those 50-50 balls. And so when it was brought back, Joanne did the right thing by trying to bring it in, but it was not dangerous, very, very weak. They can do better.
Those numbers you've said there is what Ellie has been talking about all along. He wants to see more numbers committed going forward, but let's talk about the benches. That's Simba. Who do they use to change the game if they need to change the game, Ellie? What do you think? Who do you think they look at?
I don't think you need anybody to change the game. They're doing everything right. They just have to get the passes into the box. But Aisha Nunka, she's the one for me. She can come into the game and change the game. If you need changing, that is. But it's a perfect squad.
Gladys?
Well, so far,
for Kenya or for Vihiga?
So far, so good. The Vihiga Queens have been exceptionally disciplined. They've grown into this game and into this tournament. Probably, I mean, Maureen has had a bit of a very, very quiet game. This is a game I'd love to see Topista Situma. She didn't have a very good first game in this tournament, but hopefully she's watched this game and she's learned a few things. The one thing I'd want Topista to come in for is her left foot.
Well, I tell you what, this is why football is such an interesting sport. My 2 analysts have got differing views of how that first 45 went. So why don't we join Gilbert Celeboa for the second 45? Hopefully at the end of it all, they will have a consensus about what has happened. So second half, coming up.
Well, thank you very much, James Okabi, Ellie Okoth, and Gladys Midecha for those views on the touchline. Well, we are back at the Nyayo National Stadium, where Vihiga Queens is battling it out with the Simba Queens of Tanzania in the semi-finals of the CAF Women's Champions League CECAFA qualifiers. Well, the first half, as we say, has been buried, and both teams are walking back to the pitch, knowing that it's only 45 minutes for them to decide who gets into the finals. Well, the referee of the day is Shamira Nabada from Uganda, assisted by the first assistant Nakito Nkumbi from Uganda, second assistant Yelfashwa Kasahun of Ethiopia, and of course the fourth official Swavi Siratunga of Burundi. Match commissioner today is Aisha Narure of Uganda. Shamira Nabada sets her clock, and to set us off will be the Simba Queens playing from the left of your screen to the right of your screen. Vihiga Queens playing from the left to the right, and of course the team in white, Simba Queens, playing from the right of your screen to the left. Monique Kipoi, and that is a foul. That is a foul by Phoebe Owiti, who has been outstanding in that box, and referee calls that for a foul. And of course Phoebe Owiti goes into the box, into the referee's books. First yellow card on the Vihiga Queens side. Well, Joella Bukuru with that free kick. 35 yards distance from goal. Joella Bukuru. And she drops the ball back there, trying to get hold of Clement Sanga. Again, the ball really not hitting its mark.
Gilbert, way too heavy. She didn't look up when she was taking that free kick. Wasted chance, if you ask me. Right now you want to try and lock in the game as early as possible. Tactically speaking, Vihiga Queens and Simba Queens are giving us a mouth-watering encounter here.
Mouth-watering encounter, as the analysts have rightly put it. The first half has fairly belonged to the ladies in white. The Queens, they controlled the proceedings of this game. And of course, the first half, Vihiga Queens sitting back and trying to hit Gentrix Chikango on the counter. Will they maintain the same focus and the same strategy in the second half, or they will continue playing behind the ball? To the left, Mudezi doesn't hit the mark, trying to get to Teresa Engesha. But again, the ball rolls out at this point in time for a throw-in. Alice Muderi plays it to Violet Wanyonyi. Back to Muderi, into the midfield for Joan Nabire. Nabire back to Vivian Makoha with a long punt forward, trying to get hold of Teresa Engesha. Again, those long balls, Gladys, those long balls, trying to find find the space in between the Simba Queens defenders and the goalkeeper. The long balls just going too close to the goalkeeper, and I think at this point in time Vihiga should change tact.
Well, that tact is not working, I do agree, but you know, they're trying to find spaces in that defense, and probably they should try and pass the ball a little bit more, make use of their very good midfielders, the likes of Joanne and Maureen. They really have not shown us how much they can attack.
Violet Wanyonyi again trying to bring across. Again, the ball had actually rolled out of play.
Well, she actually does take those shots very well, and the goalkeeper just, you know, losing it a little bit, spilling it, and she's very hawk-eyed there, getting that ball from Violet Wanyonyi. Violet Wanyonyi is a lady who came from Falcons, team that was based in Eldoret. She was recently acquired by Vihiga Queens. Lady who also knows how the back of the net is a beautiful place to collect the ball from.
Absolutely. Tight marking on Clement Sanga. Sanga plays ball back to Bobo. Bobo to Evariste. While her first touch lets her down for a throw-in. Alice Muderi. The long part forward, trying to get to Joan. Joan back to Morina Cheng. Cheng, Alice Muderi. Muderi with a long punt forward, trying to get to Gentrix, but good interception there by the Simba defender, Singano. Big punt forward, trying to get to Gentrix Shikangwa, but again, solid performance there from the diminutive Selemani Fatma, right back on the Simba Queens side. Long throw, trying to get to Flavin Mawete. Mawete Musolo. Mawete Musolo. Mawete Musolo, it's a good run there. Solid performance again from Phoebe Owiti. This player, Flami Mawete Musolo, 5 goals to her credit. You know, just muzzling our way through a forest of legs. But again, solid performance by Vivian Makoha. Again, good run again from Flavin Mawete Musolo. But again, very, very good defensive play from the diminutive Marceline Anyango, donning number 8. Back into the midfield, Gentrix plays to Teresa Engesha. Engesha plays the ball wide to Wanyonyi. Violet tries to get the ball to Marceline Acheng. Acheng plays the ball wide to Gentrix. Gentrix on a favorite foot. Gentrix, but solid display there from the captain, Viot Monakamba. Gets the ball to Selemani, and it's a foul on Selemani Fatma by Marcelina Nyango.
Nowhere near the ball, and Marcelino Nyango is already apologizing to the referee for that infringement. But Fatma Suleiman, what a game she has had. And, you know, the referee is telling her, you did this once, you did this twice. The third time, I'm going to book you. So she has to be extremely careful, Marcelino Nyango there.
Absolutely. Mwanakamba with a free kick. Long punt forward, trying to get to Suleimani again. Solid performance from Gentrix, who's gone back to play as a left forward. Gentrix Shikangwa playing in the offense on the left-hand side of the attack. Selemani, Moniki Poi. Again, plays the ball back to Bobo. Bobo, again, she loses it out. Now, with an opportunity there by Violet. Violet plays it to Teresa Engesha wide to Gentrix. Gentrix into the box, and solid performance. You would say she took too long. It was 3v2, but quick feet by the Simba defenders just ensures that the scoreline stays at the same. Again, back into the midfield. Vihiga asking questions here. Big cross, big header there. But again, it doesn't hit the target from Teresa Engesha.
Well, Gilbert, if you look at that build-up, I wish we could get the first build-up there, but very good effort from Teresa Engesha. Not her favorite place to be in, you know, ball watching as she was getting that header, but that was a good job. But in the fast build-up, Gilbert, really, I think Violet Wanyoni should have done better.
Every Mudezi back to Phoebe. Phoebe plays the ball back, trying to get to the striker, but again, quality performance there by Mwanakamba. Mwanakamba doesn't make a good pass, won by Slimani. Slimani with the long punt, trying to get to Clement Sanga. Again, mix up there from the Vihiga Queens. Ball still in play again. Joella Bukuru with an opportunity to strike a shot, had 2 minds and did make a correct pass.
Well, look at that. Very good play early on. That was... And look at how they won that ball. Marcelina Nyango there. That was Morina Ching who actually did it. And look at that run from Violet Wanyoni. Surely she should have passed the ball way, way earlier. It was a, she passed it behind Terry Egesha, and then Terry Egesha had to now wait for Gentrix to come back, but surely she should have passed that ball faster, given it to Terry to make that run, and we would have been talking goals right now.
Absolutely. Golden opportunity there that has been lost by Vihiga Queens. The first time that they'd had a solid break, but took too long, and quick reorganization by the Simba Queens brought them back into the fold. Clement Sanga, Bobo. Again, really, both teams giving each other no space at all to be able to do any meaningful build-up.
Well, really, that was Maureen Achieng. They are losing the ball easily to the Simba Queens. The Simba Queens win it. Tactically speaking, Vihiga Queens need to up their game. The Simba Queens have been tactically superior, and now we're seeing more attack, but really nothing much from this Vihiga Queens side. If they are able to string 2-3 passes, this Simba Queens, they can upset the Vihiga Queens.
Well, I think Vihiga Queens have resorted to playing defensive, because you do expect that there are two holding midfielders, that is Maureen Achieng and Maslin Anyango, could push even more forward to try and assist the forward line. But again, once they give the pass, it just fizzles out. On the right, Violet Wanyoni again, indecisive.
She was not sure whether she wanted to put the ball ahead of her or put it into the space. So had she made that decision very, very early, again, she would have punished this Simba Queens.
Joanne, Maslin back to Alice Muderi, Maslin Anyango to Joanne playing the wide to try and get to Vivian Makoha into the midfield to Maureen Achieng wide to Enes Mudezi back, trying to get hold of Teresa Engesha rolling the ball to Gentrix Shikangwa, but again, solid performance there by Monakamba, the captain on the Simba Queens side. Again, won by Enes Mudezi. Mudezi plays the ball to Teresa Engesha, and again, quality performance there from Viot Monakamba, the captain. A throw-in, long throw-in there, just makes up, and the ball still in the danger zone here. Goalkeeper comes out at the nick of time to take that very, very dangerous ball.
And look at that replay. That was captain there. Really, a lot of action going on in that.
Indecision. Well, and of course, when you have about 4 feet, and there's an appeal for a handball actually on Phoebe, on Averista Tosi, but I think the referee Shamira Nabada from Uganda didn't see that, and when the referee doesn't see it, then it never happened.
Well, we don't have VAR here, but hopefully in a few years we'll be talking about something different. And well, I think Vihiga Queens should have taken that opportunity better, because sometimes when you wait for such things to happen, for such appeals to go your way, it really doesn't make it count. Look at that. They both missed the ball. Good shot. A good shot would have been taken there by Gentrix. Again, the goalkeeper just coming to push her way in to get that ball. Absolutely.
Very, very pensive moments there from the coaches of the bench. Another build-up from the back. Julieta Singano plays the ball to Monakamba with a long punt forward. Well picked again in the midfield by Joan Nabire. Well, back to Clement Sanga. Sanga. She loses it to Wanyonyi. Again, a battle in the midfield. Wanyonyi still in possession. Loses it again to Singano. Back to Danai Bobo. Plays it wide, won by Enes Mudezi. Enes Mudezi, Teresa Engesha. Engesha still, but again, a nice steal by Suleimani Fatma, who has had an outstanding match as a defender on the right back position for the Simba Queens. Back in the midfield. The long punt forward by Alice Muderi. Muderi, again, the not correct pass, picked by Gentrix. Gentrix, shot intercepted in the midfield, Maslin Anyango. Back to Morina Acheng. Acheng to the right back, Alice Muderi. Muderi, Acheng. Acheng, wow, indecisiveness there. Ball picked out by Evariste Tosi. Tosi, the long punt forward, trying to get to Clement. Clement again, comes out very, very solid. Phoebe Awiti. And the ball goes all the way to the goalkeeper, Zubeda Mugunda. Mugunda, the long punt forward, trying to get to Flavin Mavete. Mavete, back to Joella. Joella to Clement Sanga. Sanga, again. Vihiga Queens, Vivian Makoha comes in at the nick of time and clears the ball for a throw-in. Evariste Tosi to the most dangerous player, Monique. She loses it out. Big punt forward, picked by Bobo, the pass master. Again, into the defender, Giulietta Singano. Singano, again, she loses it out.
She does lose it out. That is Morina Chieng there on your screen. She just got a little bit nick on her toes, and that could be that is usually very painful, Gilbert. I know as a coach, a former coach, you've been seeing a lot of those kind of nicks there.
Absolutely, it could be painful. It could be career-ending tackle. Again, she is back on her feet. Alice Muderi. Alice Muderi. Alice Muderi with a long punt forward, picked in the midfield again. It gets to Gentrix. Gentrix Shikangwa. And Gentrix, and solid performance from Suleimani Fatma. Still ball in play. Enes Mudezi, the captain on the Vihiga Queens side. Ball won by Clement Sanga. Sanga brought down in the midfield. Wow. Sanga, she's had very, very serious marking from the Vihiga Queens. Wherever she goes, she's followed, she's being tracked.
You know, she's being followed everywhere, the way a shadow follows you, and really, you don't want to give her space because she is giving the supply to their wingers, so very, very crucial to make sure that she's not being given any of that space, and that is obstruction, a little bit of obstruction there.
Daisy, Evariste Tosi. Tosi, battle in the air, picked by Teresa. Teresa loses it to Suleiman Fatma. Fatma, long punt, trying to get to Flavin Mavete. Mavete loses it out, picked by Awiti. Awiti, long ball, trying to get to Clement. Clement, again, the mid-stiff Evariste Tosi comes in and wins a corner kick for the Vihiga Queens.
Well, Gilbert, we are seeing the first substitution of this match. Captain Violet Mwamkamba is making way for Maimuna Kaimu. Violet Mwamkamba is making way for Maimuna Kaimu. And I think coach has realized that Violet is on a yellow card, and she is also looking a little bit uncomfortable. And now we are seeing Fatma Suleimani, the lady who's been on our screens every time, taking on duties of the captain.
Corner kick. Enes Mudezi, big punt forward, goalkeeper comes out, drops it, and it's a goal! just when everyone thought that it's all over, goalkeeper Zubeda Mgunda, from a corner kick, fails to put her hands firmly onto the ball, drops it in the path of Maureen Achieng. Maureen Achieng with a header, a free header, to score her 7th goal of the tournament.
And this girl always knows where to place herself. Look at that header. She looked at where the goalkeeper was. The goalkeeper had already made that clearance, and Maureen got it, and the infringement the keeper got was actually from her own player. Look at that. And you know, that high boot would again have resulted to a probability of a penalty there, because that was a very, very dangerous area. And this girl, Maureen Achieng, we are seeing her score her 7th goal of this tournament. She and 50-50 balls have a very close relationship, Gilbert.
Absolutely, absolutely. Maureen Achieng. Maureen Achieng at the nick of time. Goalkeeper comes out. She really doesn't put her hands on the ball, and a 50-50 ball there in the box. Maureen Achieng to soar high and collect her 7th goal of the tournament. Well, now the page has flipped.
The page has flipped, and the Kenyans.
And in the 65th minute, Simba Queens trailing Vihiga Queens by 1-0. A game in our hands, Mideja.
An absolutely thrilling game, and you can tell you how tight it is, because look at the scoreline, Gilbert. No one was expecting that at this particular point of the match we would not have very many goals.
Well, they've been defending for 65 minutes, and from a corner kick they scored, and they've now gone back again into the defensive mode. And I can tell you for sure that Simba Queens are not going to sit back. They will try and push more people forward and open up this game even more. Ball in the midfield, Maureen Achieng. Well, she leaves it to Joanne Nabire with a big punt forward, Julieta Singano. Singano gives it to Maimuna Kaimuni. Maimuna back to Suleimani, who has now dropped back into a central defensive role. Big punt forward. Again, that's a run by Joella Bukuru. Goalkeeper Liliana War can now easily check off some time onto the clock by slowing down the game.
Well, we see most keepers lying down when they get such opportunities. You know, when they know their team is well ahead, they just lay down to waste a little bit of time and give their teammates time to get a breath of fresh air. But
absolutely. If there is a team that is not going to sit back to get any breath, is the team on the ball right now. There's a ball on the left-hand side by Evariste Tosi into the midfield. Maslin battling it out. Solid defender, Maureen Achieng. Achieng, Teresa Engesha. Engesha, again, picked out by Evariste Tosi. Big punt by Bobo. Bobo trying to get to Clement. Clement, again, lost at the very opportune time. Picked by Phoebe Awiti. Awiti plays wide to Enes Mudeizi. Mudeizi, Enes Mudeizi, Mudeizi, and to the striker, Teresa Engesha. Engesha tries to play a long punt to Gentry Shikangwa, picked by Evariste Tosi. Tosi plays to Monique. Monique again, solid performance there from Alice Muderi, and she kicks the ball for a throw-in. Well, another substitution coming in for Monique Kipoi, goes number 10, Aisha Mununka. Aisha Mununka coming in place of Monique Kipoi. What do you make of that substitution?
Well, it's a very, very tough tactical substitution. She has not been able to get anything into this game. She's been well marked, and probably just a little bit change, fresh legs here to make sure that they're going to give a little bit of headache to that Vihiga defense. She is a lethal striker. She knows how to get those goals. She knows when to score those winning goals. So this is just more assignment for the Vihiga defense.
Well, more assignment for the Vihiga defense. Aisha Mnunka coming in place of Monique Kipoi, who's literally been marked out of this game in the first half. Foul on Clement Sanga.
Well, look at that. This obstruction rather, there by Phoebe Okech, who's already on a yellow card, so she needs to be absolutely careful not to do much to infringement.
Bobo with a long punt there, trying to get to Flavia Mabende! What a way to make a comeback in this game. Well floated ball there to Flavian Mavete Musolo. And this is a player who's barely being on the field, Aisha Mnunka. Aisha Mnunka, 1 minute, her first touch onto the ball. She gets into a prime position, and what a way to make an entrance.
Well, Gilbert, I've just talked about, and I told you that she knows when to score, and she scores when it matters. And if you look at that defense, the Vihiga defense was caught napping. They were still not ready. They were still trying to organize themselves. And really, that is how you score a goal, just to make sure that you're not making the opponent too comfortable. And now Vihiga have to make sure that they are sealing those loopholes. And on this other side, Simba Queens are going to try and keep attacking.
Flavia into the midfield, Joella. Again, back to Alice Muderi in the midfield, Maslin Anyango. Anyango picked by Bobo. Bobo loses it to Morina Cheng. Acheng, Gentrix. Gentrix back to Acheng. Acheng trying to get to Teresa again. Serious defensive play there. Back to Flavin Mawete. Mawete again brought down by Alice Muderi.
Well, Alice Muderi says she won the ball, and she did win the ball. However, the tackle looked dangerous, and that is why the referee stopped play. She did win the ball. Her legs were still out, both of them out, so good call by the referee.
Foul again, picked by Danai Bobo. One goal to her credit. Bobo with a long pass there, but this time round, she doesn't pick on anyone, and the ball rolls out for a goal kick. Well, the two number 10s are at the toast of the day here. Maureen Acheng, donning number 10 for Vihiga with the 65th minute goal, and of course Aisha Mnuk, donning number 10 for Simba, coming in, and the first touch onto the ball in the 70th minute. She puts Simba, she ties the game for Simba. Again, Singano, Bobo, long punt again, Clement Sanga, beautiful control there, and the referee intimates that she had an infringement on NS Mudeizi.
Well, we can just see a little bit of the push there with her hand trying to nag her off, and none of them were on the ball.
Well, still the long balls on both sides of the divide. Well, none of these teams wants to go through the midfield. I think they want the easier route out. And another long ball from the goalkeeper there, Alice Muderi, into the midfield, won by Aisha Mnunka. Mnunka, Evariste Tosi. Tosi, Flavian Mavete. Mavete, Tosi. Tosi with a long pass trying to get to Clement. Again, intercepted by Vivian Makoha. Another solid performance there by Asha Jafari. Sets up Gentrix. Gentrix again with a poor pass picked up by Sulemani Fatma. Fatma to the new player, Maimuna Kaimu. Maimuna Kaimu Not an easy outing there. Again, throw ball. Clement Sanga, Maimuna with a long punt there, trying to get to Aisha. Again, still Simba not leaving it to chance. And they are asking questions here. They're pushing up numbers. Kaimu to Bukuru picked out by Enes Mudezi, and the second assistant, Yalfashwa Kasahun from Ethiopia, calls for a foul.
Well, clever play there, very, very clever play there by Marcelina Nyango, picking the pass to Mudezi, who got infringed.
A long punt up there. Try to get to Violet Wanyonyi, who's been quiet in the second half. Well, the referee says Maimuna should move back. Selemani Fatma. Big fun forward. Again, solid performance there by Joan Nabire. Again, back to Fatma, Maimuna.
In all third, and Terry Ngesha just looks like she's tired. She's really pulling herself together. She's not running, making those runs in the wings. And Simba Queens are looking like they're very, very comfortable with the ball. They are winning it in the midfield very well.
Selemani, Muderi, Teresa, Engesha, again, picked by Tosi, trying to get to Flavin Mawete, trying to get to space. Well, goes past the first defender, the second one, and it's a clear foul by Joan Nabire on Flavin Mawete. She just stood in her way.
She just stood in her way, like a roadblock right there, creating a wall of Berlin in the middle of that. And I did say Terry was looking a little bit uncomfortable. Her sitting down is just telling you that this is not the Terry people were hoping to see.
Well, and that's from a corner kick. The goalkeeper fluffs that opportunity, and Morina Cheng in the 65th minute of the game scores the first goal of the day. And of course, the celebrations from the Vihiga side, notwithstanding a big punt by Bobo to Flavian, and of course Aisha Mnuk, who had just come in the 70th minute to tie the game for the Simba Queens. Gentrick Shikangwa followed by Selemani. Shikangwa by blood balloon! And it actually hits the side netting. That is a good run from the left-hand side by Gentrick Shikangwa, the number 14 striker on the Vihiga Queens side, with a good run. But again, her technique was good.
Look
the direction was not there.
Look at that, Gilbert. She just looked at how the defenders were standing, and she knew this time she could outrun them. Denied by the side netting, but very, very good inside. She looked at where the keeper was standing, and had it just gone, curved in slightly, a little bit inward, we would have been talking about something else.
Absolutely. Mudezi back into the midfield from Maslin Anyango. Wanyonyi, Anyango picked by Bobo. Bobo loses it. Asha Jaffrey, Suleiman Fatma, Clement against Mudezi. Clement against Mudezi, plays it wide to Tosi. Again tries to play the ball to Clement, back to Aisha, goalkeeper comes in at the nick of time, goalkeeper Lillian Awar. But again, what a build-up from the Simba Queens side.
A very, very beautiful build-up there, and miscommunication in that Vihiga defense might just have cost them a second goal. And we're seeing Lillian Awor here, a little bit injured, and look at Gentrix Shikangwa controlling that ball all the way from the midfield, making that beautiful run there from the left side. And Fatma Suleiman really just hoping that nothing would come out of it. And very, very clever play there from Gentrix. And
well, that's stomping on the goalkeeper there. And I think Vihiga Queens have made a substitution. They brought in Janet Bundi in place of Violet Wanyonyi. Janet Bundi donning number 7. Janet Bundi coming in from Violet Wanyonyi. This is another very, very fast player on the Vihiga side. So it's a forward for a forward.
It's a forward for a forward. Probably they're seeing that Violet Wanyonyi is not getting enough of the ball. Coach decides to bring in fresh legs, someone who can bully that defense. Janet is bigger, way bigger, slightly bigger than Violet Wanyonyi, and let her size not lie to you.
Well, remember at 4, Lady Dolls of Uganda will be battling it out against the Commercial Bank of Ethiopia in the second semi-finals of the CAF Women's Champions League CECAFA qualifiers right here at Nyayo National Stadium. So don't go far. Gentrix Shikangwa from a distance of about 40 yards. Well, Simba putting up a 2-man wall or a 2-lady wall. Gentrix Shikangwa packs power on her left foot, and she comes in, takes a shot, again blocked very well there by Clement Sanga. Sanga picked by Alice Muderi. Alice Muderi, and Alice Muderi fouling Flavin Mavete.
Well, really, Gilbert.
Well, she got hold of the ball.
Got hold of the ball.
It's the intention that was not right.
Yes, got hold of the ball.
So I think the referee has called for intention. And
well,
Flavin wasn't touched in that particular instance. Foul. Julita Singano. Well, close your screen. There is Flavin Mavete Musolo. Again, Clement. That's a good fast touch by Clement. And had it not be for Vivian Makoka's reaction, Clement should have been on for the second goal, but very, very good defending there from Vivian Makoha.
Good man marking, as you've correctly put it,
Lady
Gilbert.
marking.
Lady marking, if I may. Oh, Gilbert, I tell you, it's the term.
It's the term.
It's the term.
Good. Well, Evarista Tosi. Back to Aisha. Aisha picked up by Maureen. Maureen back to Muderi. Muderi trying to get hold of Janet Bunda. And Janet Bunda with a good run against Suleimani. Very, very, very solid performance from Suleimani, who's donning the captaincy after Violet Wanakamba exited the scene. And looks like Aisha Mununka, the scorer of the first goal for Simba, who came in for Monique Poi, is on the floor, intimating that she may have been injured at some point.
Well, let's just look at it. Actually, it was a 50-50 situation. There were four players all on the ball. She got a little bit of a knock there. It's a little bit uncomfortable.
Well, again, a long punt by Bobo, and a quick interception there by Flavin Mawete. And of course, Aisha Mnunka, number 10, just lacking in this space and has the easiest of chances to at least put the ball into the net.
And you can see the reaction on Lillian's face. Not exactly excited about it, but look at the delight from the Simba Queens. They are absolutely delighted.
Absolutely delighted. Evariste Tosi. Tosi tries to play ball to the midfield. Asha Jaffrey back to the diminutive, very, very solid defender, Julieta Singano. Goalkeeper Zubeda Mgunda. Suleimani Fatma. Suleiman Fatma. Flavin Mawete. Up, Alice Muderi. Muderi to Janet. Janet with solid run there again. Very, very good defending from the holding midfielder there, Danai Bobo. Troy.
Well, Gilbert, remember I told you that Janet Bundi has strength. And you can see it in how she's taking on defenders, not fouling them, just making sure that she's getting them off the ball properly.
Absolutely. It's a throw in by Evariste Tosi. Evariste Tosi, Danai Bobo. Bobo, cleared by Alice Muderi. Muderi again, strong performance for Nsigano for a throw in. Alice Muderi, long punt trying to get to Janet Bundi. Janet again, a foul by the tiny Evariste Tosi.
Oh, Gilbert.
Oh,
you know, Janet just put herself in a position where she knew.
Wow.
Sometimes
that is football.
The theatrics of it, and you wonder how she does it.
Alice Muderi with a free kick into the box. Muderi, header! Gentrix Shikangwa from a well-floated ball by Alice Muderi. Right in the box, Simba failing to clear. She rises up above everyone and places herself in the right moment for a beautiful header.
Well, look at that set piece, and remember, Gilbert, we did say earlier on in this match that this Vihiga Queens know how to float those set pieces into the box. So the Simba Queens have to be extremely careful about how they are defending those set pieces. And look at the reaction of the goalkeeper.
Well, 2 goals from 2 set pieces, and a very, very delighted coach there, Charles Okere, for
bench.
a standing coach for the Vihiga Queens. And what a way for Gentrix Shikangwa, one of the most solid strikers for Vihiga Queens, to put the Vihiga Queens ahead in the 88th minute on 2 goals to Simba's 1. What a time and what a place for what a player. 88 minutes, only 2 minutes to the close of this game. And of course, the most instrumental central defender, Suleiman Fatma.
Let's
injured.
Look at that incident, Gilbert, there. She just floated it in. And I think as she was floating in the air there, Gentrix, when she was landing, she actually caught Fatma, who was already down, Gilbert. Looks like a nasty injury there. She just might be stretched off, Gilbert.
Well, we just hope that Suleiman Fatma, who has had a solid performance, Alice Muderi with a floated pass in the box. Look at the way she rises up and angles her head downwards, and it just brings out tears from the eyes of the fellow players on the bench. And Gentrix Shikangwa brings this game to a very, very, very pulsating moment. Now, will they keep on defending or will they keep on pushing forward? Janet Bundi. Janet Bundi, a quick throw there by Tosi. Tosi, Mabete loses it. Back into the midfield, Marcelin Anyango. Anyango to Janet Bundi. Bundi back into the midfield to Anyango. Anyango back to Vivian Makoha. Makoha into the midfield to Anyango. Anyango plays wide to Eneza Mudezi. Mudezi on the left-hand side, Vihiga enjoying their time here. And the through ball to Teresa Engesha doesn't really hit the back. Again, Vihiga looking very, very, very solid, especially on set pieces. And there is a sub. I think Selemani did not make it back. Selemani did not make it back. And Zena Rashid comes in to try at least salvage a point. Well, another good shot coming in there. But goalkeeper Lilian Awar enjoying her moments.
Well, what a loss for Simba Queens, the loss of Fatma to Lehman. But the very able Zena Rashid coming in, and look at that shot again. This lady has just come in the second half and already causing jitters in that defense.
Well, she has an eye for the ball. Back in the midfield, Maslin Anyango. Anyango plays wide to Enes Mudezi. Mudezi with a long punt. Gentrix trying to get to her midfield general, Maslin Anyango. Again, solid performance by Bobo. Plays the ball out for a throw-in. Well, Teresa Engesha, Enes Mudezi, goalkeeper Zubeda Mgunda with the long punt forward. Well, ball still in play here, and Gentrix Shikangwa has been caught in an offside position by the first assistant Nakito Nkumbi of Uganda. And Shamira Nabada from Uganda, the center referee, calls this game to an end. And Charles Okere, the standing coach for Vihiga Queens, in a very, very, very delighted moment here. They have rolled into the finals at the expense of the Simba Queens from Tanzania. A dejected group and a delighted group on the one side. Well, the team in yellow, of course, have really had a nice afternoon there with quality team tactics here that have won their game today. And of course, in a very, very delighted mood. They started on a wrong note, having lost by 4-2 to the CBE of Ethiopia, and have a chance also to meet CBE, who will be playing in the second match in the afternoon against Lady Dawes. And Flavin Mawete Musolo, who has been outmatched in this particular game, goes out in a very, very sombre mood. Danai Bobo, the pass master, whose cross in the 70th minute awarded them the equalizer by this young girl, Aisha Mnuk, number 10. Well, what a way to make a comeback in this tournament. Well, no one believed that after Vihiga Queens lost to the Commercial Bank of Ethiopia, they were going to make a comeback. But they've come back extremely strongly. And Zubeda Mgunda, goalkeeper on Simba Queens side, knows that they had it, but again they lost it at the right opportune time. And in the 65th minute from a corner, again the goalkeeper flaps it, Maureen Acheng, with the first goal of the game. There was a reciprocation by Aisha Mnuk in the 70th minute, a tap-in by Aisha Mnuk in the 70th minute. And of course, when we thought that we were going to extra time, a good cross by Alice Muderi was picked up in the air by Gentrix Shikangwa, who scores the 6th goal of the game. And from us from Nyayo National Stadium, Simba Queens have lost by 2-1 against Vihiga Queens on full time. Well, these are the stats for the second half. Of course, the Vihiga Queens are with 55% against 45% ball possession. Both teams had 10 goal attempts and 3 goals on target. Out of the 3 goals on target, Vihiga managed to score 2. And of course, Queens scoring 1. 2 yellow cards on the Simba side. Vihiga only 1. No red cards. 2 offsides for Simba and 1 offside for Vihiga Queens. And in the highlights of the day, of course, the 2 teams marching on to the field with a lot of expectations from both sides of the divide. Referee Shamira Nabada from Uganda, taking us through the paces here, and that beautiful header there by Morina Chieng in the 65th minute put Vihiga Queens ahead. And of course, a very, very delighted bench led by Charles Okere, who is also who doubles as national keeper. And of course, today standing in for Vihiga Queens as they lost their head coach Alumira to the Tigers of Tanzania. Well, that was a floated pass and well-weighted goal there. A good header in the top corner of that goal for Maureen Achieng, who scored the 7th goal. 7 goals of the tournament. She's really been outstanding. And a big punt by Bobo. Picks out Flaving Mawete, and an easy tap in there by Aisha Mnuka, who had just come in, and a fast touch on the ball from a solid pass by Flavit Mawete Musolo puts Aisha Mnuka in a prime position to tie the game. And it was 1-1 at this particular point. Good pass, good tapping by the diminutive Aisha Mnuka, donning number 10 for the Simba Queens. All they kept on moving. They kept on moving, they kept on asking questions. None of the 2 teams decided to sit back with the long passes down the lanes, trying to beat each other. And the moment of brilliance by Gentrix with a good run from deep into the midfield. And a blockbuster there, really catching the goalkeeper napping. But again, it just hits the outside crossbar. That's one of the moments that we saw Gentrix moving in a prime position with a solid shot, again, not hitting the target. But the technique was there, the drive was there. She drove it with a lot of passion, and the coach Charles Okere definitely delighted. And Alice Muderi with a beautiful cross, failing to be dealt with by the Vihiga Queens, by the Simba Queens. They failed to deal with that cross. The goalkeeper, Zubeda Mbunde, came out, and this prompted the whole bench of the Vihiga Queens to come out and at least just get into celebrated moves. That's a good header from Gentry. She raises up above all the Queens defenders, and she notes in the 2nd goal in the 88th minute of the game, with only 2 minutes of time remaining, and she notes in a very, 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 very beautiful header. And as we speak, Vihiga Queens celebrating that goal as the referee Shamira Nabada from Uganda calls this game to an end, and you would say they cried. They cried, they shed tears after starting up poorly, but that coach came out with a game plan. They sat back and played to their potential, and their potential was in all those high balls and high crosses. And what a way, mobbed by her fellow players. And from us, Nyayo National Stadium, we take you to the press conference where we want to hear from the coaches.
The CECAFA zonal qualifiers for the Total Energies CAF Women's Champions League. Vihiga, the home team 2, and Simba Queens of Tanzania 1. In front of us we have the coach of Simba Queens, Ali Omar. Ali Omar, hard luck. And what can you say? What happened? What went wrong today?
It's not wrong, but it's a game. No, there's two teams. They need one team to qualify to final. But my teams play well. Let's get chances first half, but second half, let's lose concentration. This is a football. Football is a game of chance. When you lost, punish.
I know many are boiling to ask Ali Omar questions. Please.
Coach, both goals you considered through set pieces. So would you say something about that? Both goals came from set pieces.
Yeah, set pieces, and 40% of goals are set pieces. We train a lot, but it's our job. Our duty to coach, to remind players, to coaching players, to remind players every time. So just a football is a game of mistakes. But we lose, but we play well. But for us, it's a lesson.
And injuries, how did injuries affect you? Because I think both your centre backs had to come off injured. How did that affect you?
Yeah, of course. Injuries, cautions, early game, there's 2 cautions. There's players play rotation, at the same time receive another second caution. It's a problem, but all in all, we play well.
Kocha, nini wachezaji wako kipindi cha pili wamerudi wakionekana kuwa wiki? Ni hali ya hewa?
Sidhani kama walikuwa wiki, lakini hizi mechi hazifanani zinavyokuwa. Na mimi tangu mwanzo nilijua hizi mechi itakuwa ngumu, lakini sio kama Ladov. Isipokuwa players nadhani walikuwa na tension kubwa. Unajua sometimes inakuwa ikiwa over motivation, watu wanakuambia ni mshinde, lakini tumeenda first half, nimezungumza nao kidogo tu ili mradi sio over tension, lakini second half tumekuja game imekuwa vile. Tumefungwa goal la pili ni matatizo ya goalkeeper, lakini sitaki kwa wachezaji wangu kwa sababu wamepigana na lengo. Hii ni ya mwanzo, tunarudi nyumbani kwa ajili ya kujiandaa, tuna mabingwa tena, turudi next season.
Bado kilio changu kwako kocha, timu imekuwa ikipata nafasi nyingi. Tunaweza kusema kama mchezo utakiwa umalize kipindi cha kwanza, hata katika mechi ya Red Doves ulipata nafasi nyingi sana, lakini mkiwa mkishindwa kuzitumia. Mnasubiria mshindi wa 3 siku ya Alhamisi kabla ya mchezo wa saa 10 wa finali. Hii haikuonyeshi kwamba unaweza ukarudi nyumbani ukiwa mikono mitupu, hata nafasi ya mshindi wa 3 kukosa kutokana na kushindwa kutengeneza nafasi ambazo umekuwa ukizifuata?
Sisi tumekuja kwenye mashindano. East Africa kuna timu nyingi sana, lakini sisi tumekuja huko. Maana tumeacha timu nyumbani nyingi tu. Hii kuja kwenye mashindano ku tournament kucheza mechi 5 peke yake ni exposure kubwa. Kwa hivyo sisi tutaenda kucheza kutafuta nafasi ya 3. Sidhani kama tunaweza kucheza mechi nje ya uwanja, lakini tukija hapa tunaweza kucheza kati ya Ledova Ethiopia, kwetu sisi itakuwa vizuri. Tutapambana, bado hatujafa ngumu. Kwa sababu unajua game, wachezaji walikuwa wanahisi tutashinda tu. Lakini kila time weekend mechi imekwisha, tumefunga goli 2-1.
There's a question behind us.
Coach,
haja tuzidi popote game tu. Mchezo huu ni mchezo makosa. Ukifanya makosa kidogo tu, makosa alofanya Zubeda imetukost. Nasema tena, I don't want to blame my players kwa sababu hiyo sio kazi ya kocha. Lakini wachezaji wetu wanatakiwa wajifunze. Ni issue ya kujifunza, haya ni mashindano makubwa. Na mimi nimeingia kama mwezi mmoja na kitu, sitaki kujitetea, lakini kwamba hii kwangu mimi ni lesson, narudi kwa ajili ya kujiandaa. Tumeona wachezaji, tumeona mashindano mazuri, kwa hiyo tunarudi nyumbani kwa ajili ya kujipanga tena kwa mwakani.
Coach, pole sana kwa kushindwa. Mmecheza vizuri sana, lakini hamjaibuka, mjapata ile ushindi mlikuwa mnatafuta leo. Wewe kama coach, umeona timu yako imecheza vipi kwa maoni yako?
Timu imecheza vizuri kwa sababu sisi tulikuwa tumejiandaa kwa ajili ya kucheza na Vihiga. Nilikuwa najua mechi itakuwa hivyo, lakini Vihiga walikuwa wanatuogopa zaidi wao, na ndio maana wakaanza defending game. Sisi wanatuachia tucheze. lakini unajua wachezaji wakifika uwanjani, ndio maana mimi sikai. Sijui makocha wenzangu, lakini nadhani hata kocha mwenzangu alikuwa hajakakai. Unatakiwa kila kati to remind players, lakini hawajatuzidi popote. Ni game uliochezwa kama walivyosema kwamba huu ni mchezo wa makosa, ukifanya kosa wenzako wanakuadhibu, lakini hatukuharibu, hatukucheza vibaya. Nimejifunza kwamba kwanza wachezaji wenyewe wajifunze. Mimi nimejifunza kwamba tunahitaji watu aina gani, quality players. Hii ya mashindano ni quality players, na ndio maana nikasema tumekuja huku tumeona vingi, sio kucheza tu, lakini kuona wachezaji wengine. Naamini tukirudi usajili umekwisha, lakini dirisha dogo, naamini tutakuja na wachezaji wengine mwakani, mtaenjoy.
Coach, Simba Queens ilikuwa miongoni mwa timu ambazo zilikuwa zimeratibiwa labda kuweza kushinda ile taji. Labda kwa mtazamo wako, umepata alama hasi ama alama chanya, na ni kitu gani ambacho unaweza kuongezea kwa Simba Queens?
Watu walikuwa wanaizungumza Simba Queens kwa sababu ya jina. Mimi nilikuwa naiona timu yangu nzuri, lakini sio hivyo nilivyofikiria. Lakini siwezi kumwambia mtu kwamba timu yangu haiwezi kushinda mashindano. Lakini kwa sababu ina Simba, na watu wakisema Simba wanajua ile Simba, kwa hivyo ukisema Simba na Simba na mnyama mkali wanajua hii ndo kama wale. Lakini tunataka time kidogo kutengeneza kama Simba ile. Hii sio kama ile. Lakini kwangu mimi nakwambia tena, tumecheza vizuri. Mechi 4 tumecheza hii, tunasubiri mechi ya 5, bado tupo katika mashindano, tunamaliza tarehe 9.
Okay, thank you very much, coach. One more game to go for the playoff. Wishing you all the best of luck, and it's nice to hear you talk about the good exposure for your team.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, media. Let's meet again. Okay, are we okay? Vihiga assistant coach, Coach Boniface. What a celebration I saw when the second goal went in. I saw the head coach diving down, and wow, what a celebration. It's always nice to see such celebrations in football. What can you say going into the final? Your team is through to the final now. Do you think the cup is going to remain here?
Yeah, I'm confident enough that the cup will remain in Kenya, because we are trying to rectify some of our mistakes, so that by the time we reach the finals, I think we'll not have any mistake to leave the cup away.
Coach, what did you tell the girls at halftime? Because the first half was not as good as the second half. What did you change at halftime?
Not that much, just a morale. And by first half, we had realized how Simba Queens are playing. So it was just a matter of a strategy that when going to attack, when Simba are on possession, we don't attack. We leave, they play the ball at our side, then we attack. That was the main strategy that we had.
Coach, congratulations kwa mara nyingine. Improved performance. Game 1 kulikuwa na porous defense, lakini ulisema umefix. Unaona sasa saa hii wasichana wako wamefanya ile ulikuwa unahitaji, especially vile tournament imekuwa kigrow.
Ni vizuri niseme wamefanya almost 60 to 70% of the instructions. So wamepiga plus.
Coach, congratulations, lakini kwa nini Vihiga Queens haianzi game on the right foot? Kila saa, first half, not a good performance, then second half, a totally different team.
The advantage na Vihiga Queens players, endurance. You know, the moment we draw first half, second half, my players have good endurance. They can do anything in second half. That is the only morale they have.
Coach, umeingia kwenye finali, unasubiri mshindi kati ya Lady Daws ama CBE. Labda timu hizi mbili yote ambaye atashinda unaweza ukazizungumziaje?
Moja kati ya hizo timu itafika finali. Na bado tuko hapa tuna watch venye wanacheza. Then planning itakuja baadaye, kabla kuona venye wanacheza na yule mshindi ndio tutakuja na plan ya kucheza nao.
Ushaziona mechi zao kadhaa, wamecheza mechi kadhaa, unaweza kuwatafsiri vipi timu zote mbili?
nimeona mechi zao, na unajua ukifika kiwango ya semi au expect wacheze venye wamecheza group stages. Now ni a lot of improvement, so kama wameimprove najua nitaionea kwa semi, sababu semi ni tofauti na group stages.
Na utawaandaaje wachezaji wako kwenye finali?
Ni kutrain hard na kurectify makosa yenye wamefanya saa hii kwa the next game.
Kila laheri.
Kocha, hongera kwa ushindi. Timu yako unadhani ni wapi wameweza kuwawini Simba? Kwa sababu kipindi cha kwanza walicheza vizuri, lakini waliporudi kipindi cha pili timu ikaja imebadilika kabisa. Wapi umeweza kuwawini na kuweza kuendelea kuwapa furaha mashabiki ambao wameandaa hii shindano kwa maana ya Wakenya wenzao?
Simba, kitu yenye niliona first half, ukiwaachia mpira wacheze watakukuta kwa hizo spaces, sababu wanaacha kuna spaces nyingi katika lapses katika defense. So hiyo ndio ilikuwa theme ya second half, tuende to shut hizo spaces in that wasipate mwanya wa kupiga kwa balls kwa hizo spaces.
Okay.
Na ndio ilisaidia kipindi ya pili.
Okay, thank you very much, Assistant Coach Boniface. Wishing you the best of luck in the final. Thanks a lot, media. Let's meet again.